All right, thank you so much for joining us today. So, in preparation towards our final exams, we are just preparing ourselves so that we can take the exams with confidence. So, in this video, we are going to take 15 questions on circles and I think 20 questions on limit. So, two part here. So, stay here with me and let's go through together. Let's jump right in. So, the first question is we want to find the coordinate of A and B such that y is equal to x, cut the circle this. So let's do that. So since it's cut the circle, this is what we are trying to say. So we have a circle here and then we have a line which cuts the circle. So it means that we are going to solve this simultaneously, right? So that we can say that, let's say this one is A and this one is B. So since y is equal to this, we are going to plug in y is equal to x inside the equation of the circle. So first, let me pick y is equal to x, and then x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y minus 24 is equal to 0. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make sure that I plug in y is equal to x. So let's do that. X squared plus x squared minus 6x minus 2x minus 24, because x is equal to y. So I plug in y is equal to x. This is going to give us 2x minus 8x minus 24 is equal to 0. Divide through by 2 and we are going to have x minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. So we can use calculator to get the factors from here. But this one, I'll just factor them. So x minus or plus 2x minus 6x minus 12 is equal to 0. And with the one with the blue, when I factor x out, it will be left with this. And then the one with the red, when I factor minus 6 out, I'm going to have this here. It's equal to 0. So what am I going to get from here? I'm going to have x plus 2 and then x minus 6, which is equal to 0. So this implies that x plus 2 is equal to 0, s is minus 2, x minus 6 is equal to 0, s is equal to 6. So x is minus 6, x is 6 and minus 2. Y is equal to x. This implies that when x is equal to 2, y will be minus 2. So I'm going to have a point minus 2 minus 2. And then when x is equal to 6, y2 will be 6. So I'm going to have 0.6 and 6. So let's go and check if we have something like that. So I think A is right here. So that's basically what you are going to get from this. Now, the question B is saying that determine the equation of the circle which has AB as a diameter. So now we are transforming the question again. Now we are assuming that this line here is a diameter. So it means that this is how the circle is going to look like now. So we are assuming that this one is a diameter, meaning that it passes through the center. So this is A, this is B. And then B is 6, and let me assume that this is A is minus 2 minus 2. So this is basically what I'm going to get from here. So now let's try and then see what we can get from the questions here. So diameter, we can have two ways of solving this. You can decide to find a midpoint. When you get a midpoint, that will be your center. You use the center and any of the points here to find your radius, then use the center and the radius to form the equation of the circle. But I'm going to use this one, which forms another point on the circumference where this one is going to be 90. So it forms x and y. And I'm going to use the idea that since this one is forming at 90, then the gradient of this times the gradient of this is equal to minus 1, right? So that's what I'm going to use. So here, the gradient of AP, or let me say PA, times the gradient of PB should be equal to minus 1, using the idea of perpendicular property. So this now is going to give us, let's find the gradient of this. We know that gradient is equal to change in y over change in x. So this is going to give us, the one here is going to give us y minus minus 2, so it's going to be plus 2 divided by x minus minus 2, so it's going to be plus 2. So y minus 2. So, and then x minus minus 2. So this is what we are going to get. And then this one is this and this. So this is going to be y minus 6 divided by x minus 6. And this should be equal to 1. Sorry, minus 1. So let's look at the answer. So as I said, always whilst you are doing this, you try to check the answer before you do it. So what I'm going to do here is now the top, I can combine the top and the down. I'm going to have y plus 2, y minus 6 divided by x plus 2, x minus 6, which is equal to minus 1. I'll move it to the left. So y plus 2, y plus y minus 6 is equal to minus 1 times x plus 2, and then x minus 6. Then I'll move this to the left. So let me see if that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, yes, I'll move it to the left. So from the option, I'm going to move this one to the left. So when I move it, since it's minus, become positive. So I'm going to have x plus 2, x minus 6. Then I have this one already here. So I'm going to have plus y plus 2, and then y minus 6 is equal to 0. So let's check if we have something like x plus 2, x minus 6, y plus 2, y minus 6, and it is right here. X plus 2, x minus 6, y plus 2, y minus 6. So that's very simple from there. So that's question 1 and 2. Let's look at question 3. Which of the following is not a property of the equation of the circle? So you see that we had equation of the circle right here. So we can even compare. So equation of circle, always the x's and then the y, the first term has the degree of 2. So we see that this is true. Now looking at the equation 2, we can see that there is, so let me just take this equation down here so that we can just compare it very well. So copy, and let's just paste it here so that we can just compare this one and see which one is true. So we can see that this one has a degree of 2, x and y, which is true. Now there is no term which is xy. That one too is true. Now the coefficient of x squared and y squared are the same, which is very, very true, because always the coefficient of this and this should be the same. And then the coefficient of x and y are equal. No, it can be possible. We can get a question that has the coefficient of x and y to be equal, but it is not, composite. For example, this is the equation of the circle, but the coefficient of x and y is not the same. So this is out. So our answer here is going to be this, which is not a property of equation of the circle. Now let's look at question 4. Find the standard equation of the center 0, 0, which contain the point 4 and minus 1. 4 and minus 1. So let's try and see this. So we have a circle, and we have a center which is 0, 0. And then we have a point which contain a point. So it contains a point 4 and minus 1. So we know that the standard equation is x minus a, y minus b, which is equal to r squared. A and b are the center, right? So a, b are the center. So here a is 0, b is 0. So it means that the equation will be x, sorry, this one's supposed to be squared plus and squared. So this is going to be, when a is 0, this is going to be x squared plus y squared, because b2 is 0 is equal to r squared. So all we just need here is we need to find r, which is our radius. So let's do that. Now, for us to get the radius, we need to connect this. So we need to find the distance between this, and then we get our radius. So let's see that. Radius is equal to square root of, or let me say the radius is equal to magnitude of CP. So that is the distance. So let's find the distance. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So what are we going to get from here? Now x2 is 4, x1 is 0 squared plus y2 is minus 1, and then y1 is 0. So this is going to give us square root of 4 squared plus minus 1 squared, which is square root of, this is going to be 16 plus 1, and this is going to give us square root of 17. So let's just plug the radius here. So we are going to have x squared plus y squared, which is equal to square root of 17 or squared, and we should have x squared plus y squared is equal to 17. So that's something like that, which is right here. So question 4. So as you can see, the more you practice, it becomes so easy for you to just know what you are going to exactly do. And as I said, always verify if you see a question which is being repeated, so know how to solve. A circle has a radius of 5 and the center this, and then has equation of this, true or false. So let's find out if it is true. So we know that this is the standard equation of the circle when they've given us the center and then the radius. So let's just put them in, expand it, and see if it is true. So this, or another way that we can do this is we can try and use this one to find the radius and then the center. Any of them works, but let me go through this one first. Maybe when I finish, I'll show you this one too. So x minus 0 squared plus y plus 6 squared is equal to 5 squared. So x squared plus, when I expand this, I'm going to have y squared plus 12y plus 36, which is equal to 25. So this is going to give us x squared plus y squared plus 12y, and then move 25 to the left, and this is going to give us 36 minus 25 is going to give us 11. And let's compare x squared. Yes, this is true. Now, without using this one, you can use another way to solve this. This is the way. I'll pick x squared plus y squared plus 12y plus 11 is equal to 0. And what I'm going to do, I'll try and find the center and the radius from here. So remember that here the center should be gen of y should be equal to the function with x here. So there is no x, so this one, or remember the general formula, x squared plus y squared plus 2 gen x plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. So here, the one with x, there is no x there, so this is equal to 0, and gen is equal to 2. Sorry, it's equal to 0. And then the one with x, the one with y is here, so 2f is equal to 12, and f is equal to 6. Remember, the center is minus gen and minus f. Is there something wrong here? No, okay. So minus gen minus f. So this is going to give us center. Gen is 0, so I'm going to have 0. F is 6, so I'm going to have minus 6, which confirms what we have here. Indeed, this is the center, 0 and minus 6. But we need to confirm the radius, knowing that radius is equal to square root of gen squared plus f squared minus c. So compare this to this, you can see that c is equal to 11. So let's do square root of 0 squared plus minus 6 squared, and c is 11. So we are going to have minus 11. So this will be 36 minus 11. What is 36 minus 11? It should be 25, and square root of 25 is 5. So telling us that indeed this is the equation of this circle, which has a radius of this and center of this. So this is true. So any of them works out. Now a circle has this. We want to derive the equation of the line which passes through C, which is the center, and this point. So let's try and find out. So we have a circle like this, which has a center. Now the center here, let's try and pick the center from this. Remember the standard, x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. So here, center is a and b. Compare this one. You see there is minus already here. So here we are going to have 5. And then there is minus here. So since there is no minus here, here is the same as minus minus. So this is going to be minus 2. So the center is 5 and minus 2. And then we have a point. We have a point. Let me say a point somewhere here. We don't know whether that's the radius. So let me just put the point somewhere here. Can be anywhere, right? And 2. Now we are finding the equation of the line which passes through the center and that point. So since we have 2 points, we can find the slope and then we just find the equation of the line. Remember, equation of the line is y minus y1, which is equal to mx minus x1. Now we can use any of the point here as x1, y1 because it passes through the center and a, right? But let's use a. So it means that here x1 is 7, and then y2 is 2. Y1 is 2. So y minus 2 is equal to mx minus 7. So all we just need here is we need to find for our m, what is the slope. So let's find the slope. Changing y over changing x. So I'm going to have, picking this as my x2, y2. So I'm going to have minus 2 divided by 5 minus 7. So minus 4 divided by minus 2, and this is going to give us 2. So y minus 2 is equal to 2x minus 7. So let's check if the answer is there. Okay, let's simplify 2 and see. Y minus 2 is equal to 2x minus 14. So move this one to this side. We are going to have y minus 2 plus 14, 2x, and y plus 12 is equal to 2x. And we have this one. Oh, is that true? It's supposed to be minus. No. Do you have any other function that's okay? Let me check it out again. The center is 5 and minus 2, which is true. The point given to us is 7 and 2. So 7 and 2. X is 7. This is 2. The gradient, minus 2 is going to give us minus 4. 5 minus 7 is going to give us minus 2. So this is going to give us 2. Put a 2 here, and we are having something like this. Okay, let me assume that I'm changing the point using the center and see what we are going to get from here. Then we can conclude that maybe there is no answer here. So this is going to be y plus 2, which is equal to 2 times x minus 5. So this is y plus 2 is equal to 2x minus 10. And move, you get y plus 12 is equal to 2x. So it's giving us the same results. So y, okay, so we don't have any results here. So the likely answer should have been this. So we don't have an answer from there. All right, that's fine. Let's look at question 7. What is the equation of the circle which has a center this and having a line this as a tangent? Good. So with circles, it's good for you to always draw, right? It's good for you to always draw. So we have a tangent and then we have a center here. Center is 1, 3. And then we have the tangent line 3x plus 4y plus 10, which is equal to 0. So for us to find the equation of the circle, we know that definitely we need a radius and the center, right? So we can find the radius. And then we are done. So here, standard equation, x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. We know the center, so this is going to be x minus 1 squared plus y minus, let me say 3 squared is equal to r squared. So sometimes I can decide not to even find the radius. Maybe I can get the answer. So let's simplify. If we get the terms which are not like, okay, we cannot do it this because of these are almost repeating. So let's find for, but still we can get the results. Let's try it and see. Yes, without finding the radius, let's see if we can get the results here. So this is s squared minus 2x plus 1. This is y squared minus 6x plus 9, which is equal to r squared. So this is x squared, this one's supposed to be y, plus y squared minus 2x minus 6y plus 10 is equal to r squared. So we just need r, but let's confirm if the one that is having something like x squared plus y squared minus 2x. So x squared y squared minus 2x minus 6y. So you see that all the terms that we have here, it's only the a which is having what we have, like x squared y squared minus 2x minus 2y. So even without finding the radius, I know that the answer is probably this. If that's not the answer, then there is no option, because this one is out. This one, because of xy, so it's also out. And this one has no 2x, so it's also out. So probably when we do the radius, we are going to have the answer to be A. You see? So sometimes you can, find a way of getting your results. So now let's find the radius. Let's find the radius. It's very important, right? Good. So now here we can see that what we can do here is we can try and use the idea of perpendicular distance, because this is a point from a line. So let's use perpendicular distance. So perpendicular distance here becomes the radius. This perpendicular distance here becomes the radius, which is ax plus by plus c divided by square root of a squared plus b squared. So a is 3, b is 4, and c is 10. X is 1 and y is 3, right? So that's what we are going to get. So we are going to have 3 times 1 plus 4 times 3 plus 10 absolute divided by a is 3, b is so square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared. Let's see what we are going to get. So 3 plus 12 plus 10. So there's no minus, so we can ignore the absolute. Square root of 9 plus 16. The top is going to be, I think, 25. And then down is going to be also 25. So 25 divided by 5, this is going to give us 5. So the radius is supposed to be 5. So 5 squared is going to give us 25. Bring 25 to the other side. 10 minus 25 is going to give us minus 15. And indeed, the answer is A. So you see the way you can manipulate some of it and then to get the answer there. So you see that if this one was, let me say this one, then we cannot conclude. Or maybe if this one was 2, we cannot conclude because we have this and this. But because it wasn't like that, we saw that indeed the answer is supposed to be A from there. If it is not A, then there is no option. Now let's look at question 28. We want to find the equation of the tangent given this at that point. So the equation of the tangent to the circle, this given this. Okay. So we have a circle, and then we have the equation of the tangent, which is here. So we have a point. This point is at the tangent. So P is 3, 2. And we have the equation of the circle. Now, what's the equation of the tangent to the circle? What's the equation of the tangent to the circle? So this will give us the center. Let's say AB. Now, don't forget the equation here. This is 90, right? So the equation of the tangent is y minus y1, which is equal to minus 1 divided by the slope, then x minus x1. This is equation of the tangent of what? A circle. Don't confuse yourself with a curve, right? So this is the circle because of the 90 there. So what we just need to do is we need to find the center, and we use the center and the P to find the slope, and then we can, take the reciprocal to do that. So now let's do that. What's the center here? 2 gen is equal to minus 2. So gen is equal to minus 1. 2f is equal to 4, and f is equal to 2. So 2 gen goes always with the coefficient of x, and 2f goes always with the coefficient of y. Center is minus gen minus f. So this is going to be 1 and minus 2. So here we are going to have 1 and minus 2. So now let's use the center and this point to find the slope of this. So let's find slope of PC. So slope of PC, we know change in y over change in x. So let's do that. We are going to have, if I'm using this one as my x2, y2, I'm going to have minus 2 divided by 1 minus 3. So this is minus 4 divided by minus 2, and this is going to give us 2. So this is the slope. And since we are looking for the equation of the tangent, then the slope of this is perpendicular to this. So that's the reason why this one is supposed to be this. Now, don't forget here, we cannot use any point for x1, y1, because if you use a center, you are not going to get the right answer, because the equation of the line of the tangent does not pass through this. It passed through this point. So we are going to use this point and then the slope that we had here to find the equation. So the point is 3 and 2. Is that right? So now equation of the tangent is going to be y minus 2, which is equal to minus 1 divided by 2, and then x minus 3. So even without even finding the slope, you could have even substitute the point inside 2 as well. So now let's try and simplify this. 2 times y minus 2 is equal to minus 1 x minus 3. Now 2y minus 4 is equal to minus x minus plus 3. So let's see how they did the answer. So x comes first. So this is x positive? Yes, positive. So I'll move x to this side. I'm going to have it to positive, plus y is already here. Move this one positive. Y is already here. And then move this guy to this side. Let me see. Yes. Move this guy to this guy. We're going to be minus. So we're going to get minus 7, which is equal to 0. So x plus 2y minus 7. X plus 2y minus 7, which is here. Good. So pay attention to whenever you are doing it. Sometimes you'll be doing it right, but you are going to pick the wrong point. Now let's look at question 9. Now we want to find the length PM from the circle whose center is M from the point. So we have a circle here, and we are assuming that M is the center, and we have a point. We don't know where the point is, so let me put some point somewhere here. It can be inside the circle, it can be anywhere. So what we just want to do is we want to find the distance between P and M, right? But for us to do that, we need the coordinate for M. But good for us, we know that M is the center of the circle. So we can write x squared plus y squared minus 20x minus 24y plus 1995 is equal to 0, as now gen is equal to minus 20, and then 2f is equal to minus 24, as we know that gen of x goes with the coefficient of x. So gen is equal to minus 10, f is equal to minus 12. Don't forget, center is minus gen minus f. So this is going to be 10 and 12. So m is 10 and 12. So now let's find the distance between P and M. So the length PM is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So a lot of formulas always. The more you solve, the more you get used to the formulas, right? And try and understand them, because you are going to be using them everywhere. This, because if you are in level 300, you are doing advanced and the question is asking you for distance, and you remember this, you are done. So let's use this one as x2, y2. So I'm going to have 25 minus 10 squared, then plus 32 minus 12 squared. So this is going to give us 15 squared plus this is going to give us, is it 20 squared? Of course, yes. What is 15 squared? Let me use calculator to check. 15 squared is 225, and then 20 squared is 400. So add them and take square root of that. So this is going to be square root of 625, and I think this one's supposed to be 25. Let me confirm. Of course, this is 25. So let's see, the one is having 25, which is this one here. Let's look at question 10. Now, determine the equation of the common chord of the intersecting circle. So now for us to equate this and this, the coefficient of x squared and y squared should be the same. So it's either you divide through by you divide this 2 by 2, or you multiply this one by 2. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2, because if I divide 2 by 2, this is odd, making it divided by 2. So I'll decide to multiply this one by 2. So multiply by 2, x squared plus 2y squared minus 8x minus 4y minus 62 is equal to 0. And then I have x squared plus 2y squared minus 6x plus 8y minus 35 is equal to 0. So intersecting chord, meaning that this is equal to this. So I'm going to have 2x plus squared plus 2y squared minus 8x minus 4y minus this to be equal to 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 6x plus 8y minus 35. This will cancel this. This will cancel that. Oops, cancel this. So x is coming first. So since this one is big, I'll move this one to this side. So I'm going to have minus 6. And when I move this one, I get 8x. Then plus 8y, which is here. And I move this one here. I'm going to have plus 4y. Then minus 35. And move this one here, giving me plus 62 is equal to 0. So 2x plus 12y. 35 minus this is going to give us, I think, 27. Yes, this is true. So 2x, 12y, 27. 2x, 12y, 27. All of them being positive. So we are going to have this one here. Right. So that's basically what we are going to get for question 10. We are almost done with the circle aspect and start the limit. So the equation of the normal to this at that point. So we want to find the equation of the normal, right? So equation of the normal, this is the circle. Let's assume that we have a center somewhere here, AB. We have the point somewhere here, minus 4 and 6. Then we are looking at this. And remember, this is equation of the normal. So you see that this is in line. This is in line, right? So the equation of the normal to a circle is going to be y minus y1, which is equal to the slope x minus x1. Because this is parallel, they are on the same line. The center and then the point, they are on the same line. So we find the center, we use the center to get the slope, and then we just do that. So I'm going to put this one inside. So I'm going to have y minus 6, which is equal to mx plus 4. So now let's do that. Let's find center from this. So we've been doing this a lot. So I'm going to have 2 gen to be equal to minus 4. So gen is equal to minus 2. I'm going to have 2f, which is equal to 6. And then f is equal to 3. So center will be 2 and minus 3. Because center is minus gen minus f. So my center now is 2 minus 3. So let's find the slope. M is equal to change in y over change in x. So now this is going to give us something like this. Y2 is 6 minus y1 is minus 3. So it's going to be plus 3 divided by minus 4 plus 2. So this is going to be 9 divided by minus 2. So that will be the slope. So let's just put it in. This is 9 minus 2 x plus 2. So I will multiply 2 by minus 2, 9 x plus 2. So minus 2y plus 12 is equal to 9x plus 18. Let's look at how they simplify it. So y, all of them at one side. So I'll move the y to this side. So I'm going to have 2. Oh, this one's supposed to be, yeah, this one's supposed to be 12 indeed. So I'm going to have something like this. 2y plus 9x. And then 18 minus 12, which is going to be 0. 2y plus 9x plus 6 is equal to 0. Let's confirm if that thing is true. We don't have anything like that. So let's go through our solution again and see if we are doing the right thing before we can say that there is no solution. So this is minus 2, indeed, yes. This is 3. So we are going to get 2, and minus 3. The point is minus, find the gradient, this 6 plus 3, which is going to be 9, and then minus 4 minus 2. Good, so there's a mistake here. So this one should be minus, and this is going to be minus 6. So this one should be 3 goes here 3 and goes here 2. So this is how it's supposed to be. So there was a mistake here. So this one's supposed to be 3. Okay, so this one is going to be 3, and then when you multiply this, we are going to have 3x plus 6. So anytime you solve something and you are not getting the answer, sometimes you need to verify it. So now I'm going to have 2y. This one is going to be 3, and this is going to be, it's still the same. Okay, let me just finish. So this is going to be, this is now going to be 6 minus 12, and this is going to be minus 6, and this is going to be 3. So do you have 2y plus 3x, but that one is equal to 0. So let's see if there is supposed to be equal to 0 somewhere. Let's see. This is true. This one is finally true. So let's see the point. Minus 6 plus 4. Oh, okay. This is also plus 4. Oh, why? Why is this thing happening? So this is going to be 12. Okay. So this is going to be plus 6 plus 12. So sometimes you need to, pay attention. If not, you are going. So the answer becomes A. Right. Good. Good. So we're able to figure out all the mistakes. That's good. Now let's look at question 12. What is the geometric notation for the diagram? So if D is inside the circle, then the distance for, so the R is not supposed to be here. R is not CD. So the distance between CD and R, remember R is from the center to the circumference. So when you compare this distance and this distance, R is supposed to be greater than. So you are going to have something like this. Good. So this one's supposed to be C. That's how it's supposed to be. Now let's look at 30. We're almost done. If a line intersects with a circle, find a point of intersection. So straightforward. So shortcut here is I'm just going to plug this point inside this and see if I'm going to get 0. So let's do that. I wanted to finish and show you the shortcut. So plug in 1 and 0, and you're going to have 1 minus 0 minus 1, and this is 0 indeed. So a point like this works for this because x is 1, y is 0. Plug in this and see if you are going to get 0. So we have this, which is valid. This 2 is valid. This is also valid. So the same point. So minus 3 minus 2 times minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 0. So let's check it out. Minus 3 plus 4 minus 1. This is also going to give us 0. So a point like this is also valid. So we are going to use this one as the section. And indeed, when we plug in this one too, it's going to give you 0. Plug in 1. So it's going to be 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 0 minus 5. So 1 plus 5, and this one is going to be 0. So indeed, the answer is going to be this. Indeed, we know the answer here. So we can just take time and then just work through that. So we can take time and then work through that. Let's look at 14. What is the equation of the tangent at the point to the circle this? So you've done equation of the tangent, so you can try this and leave your answer in the comment section. So don't forget, this should be 1, y minus y1, which is equal to minus 1 divided by the slope, because we are talking about circle, then x minus 1. But here, the point is this. So this is going to be y minus 2 is equal to minus 1 over x, this, over mx, because x is 0. x1 is 0 from here. So just find the center, use the center and the point to find the slope, and then you'll be there. Okay. Can I even choose the answer from this without solving? No, because of they are all plus. When I move this one here, oh, yeah. So they are all plus. So the answer will be one of this. So try it and leave the answer in the comment section. Compute the center and the radius. Okay, very quick one. So gen 2 gen is equal to 8, gen is equal to 4. 2f, there is no y there, so it's equal to 0. F is equal to 0. So center will be minus 4 and 0. Minus 4 and 0. Let's find the radius. R is equal to gen squared plus f squared minus c. C is 7. So square root of minus 4 squared plus 0 squared minus 7. This is 16 minus 7. 16 minus 7 is square root of 9. And square root of 9 is 3. So we are going to have 3, right? So we are going to have, what's the center? Okay, we are going to have D. So this is the end of circle. Let's continue with limit. I will just go very quick because we have like 20 questions on this one too. I'll be leaving some of the questions for you to do this. Now find a constant C that will make the function continuous at s is equal to 2. So continuous, as I said, anytime you have something like this, then we are going to use the last property, which says that limit as x is approaching a of f of x should be the same as f of a. So this is what you are going to use because of this here. Now here, a here is when we are talking about x is equal to a. So here, if we are assuming that our a is equal to 2, we are going to look at limit x approaching 2 of f of x, which is f of x is equal to 2. Now f of x is equal to 2, which is here, is equal to c. So it means that this is equal to c. So what we just need to look for, we need to look for limit as s is approaching 2 of f of x. And if x is approaching 2, that's where we pick the x is equal to, is not equal to 2. So we are going to pick this function. So let's go and figure it out. Limit x is approaching 2 of x squared minus 4 divided by x minus 2. Let's simplify this and get limit x is approaching 2. This is difference of 2 squares plus 2 divided by x minus 2. This cancel this, and we have limit x is approaching 2, x plus 2. So this is 2 plus 2, and we are going to get 4. So this is 4. So C should be 4. Let's go through quick. Now I want to find limit. So this one, I will show you the shortcut. Limit as x is approaching 0 from the negative side. Now, anytime you see this one here, it's telling us that we want to pick the negative side. So absolute goes with plus or minus x. So this telling us that we need to pick the negative one. So this one, we are going to pick negative of x divided by 2x. Very simple. So now x cancel x, and we have limit x is approaching 0 from the negative side minus 1 over 2. As soon as you are done with the simplification, now as x is approaching 0, this is going to give us minus 1 over 2, which is here. Very simple. Now let's look at 3. Same thing. Limit x is approaching 3 from the negative side. The top is absolute of 4x minus 12. This is the same as plus or minus 4x minus 12. So since this is minus, we are going to choose the minus aspect of this. So I'm going to have minus 4x minus 12 all divided by x minus 3. Now let's try and simplify. Limit x is approaching 3 from the negative side. I can factor 4 out and have x minus 3 divided by x minus 3. This cancel this. And I'm going to have limit x approaching 3 from the negative side of minus 4, and this is minus 4. See, it's very simple, easy, straightforward. So you just need to be doing a whole lot. Find limit of f of x as s tends to minus 2 from the left. So in words, this is what the question is looking for. x2 from the left minus of f of x. So which one is the left? When you say the left, it means that this that we've written here means that x is from the left. It means that x is less than 2. From the left means that all the x values are less than 2. So it means that less than 2, we need to use this function. So we are going to have limit x is approaching 2 from the left, 1 plus x squared. And this one, we are going to set s to be equal to 2. So 1 plus 2 squared and 1 plus 4. And this is going to give us 5, which is here. Let's look at 5. This is limit x is approaching 1, x minus 2 divided by x squared minus 4. I think I can leave this one for you to do it, right? Try this one and leave your answer in the comment section. Now let's look at this one. Oh, I love this. Limit x is approaching 0, tan x divided by 2x. So what we just want to do is we want to make sure that what's inside the parentheses here is the same as what is at the denominator. So here we can factor 1 over 2 out and have limit x is approaching 0 of tan x divided by x. So what is here is the same as what is here. And we know that this is equal to 1. So 1 over 2 times 1, and this is 1 over 2 here. Let's look at something here. Okay, so this one, when I plug in 4 here, it goes to 0. So let's try and then factor the top. So x squared minus 4 minus 7x plus 12. What are the factors of this? I know that x squared minus, let me say, 4x minus 3x indeed. This is true. So x squared, now when I factor x out from the one which is blue, I'm going to have x out, x minus 4. And then the one with the green, when I factor x out, I'm going to have, when I factor minus 3 out, I'm going to have, okay, this is plus. So I'm going to have 3 minus 4. So x minus 4, x minus 3 on the top. So it means I can write this one as limit x is approaching 4, x minus 4, x minus 3 divided by x minus 4. This cancel this, and I have limit x is approaching 4 of x minus 3. And this is 4 minus 3 when I set x to be 4. And this is going to give us 1 right there, which is very nice. Let's look at this. So I'll leave this one for you to do. It's kind of the same thing like the way we did this one right here, right? Try and then factor the top and see if you can cancel something out. But indeed, you see that even though we can think of doing the factorization, this is 5. And when I put 5 here, this never goes to 0. So even let me solve this one. This is so easy, so I won't give it to you to solve. I'll solve it myself. So since the denominator is not going to be 0, I'm going to have 5 squared plus 5 minus 20 divided by 5 minus 4. 25 plus 5 minus 20 divided by 1. And this is going to be 30 minus 20. And this is going to be 10. This is very easy. So always check the denominator before you solve. So because of that, I'll leave question 9 for you to solve. So question 9 too, don't forget this is x approaching 4. So you can just do direct substitution, and then I love direct, let me do it myself. 4x squared minus 3 times 4 plus 4 divided by 4 plus, I want to give you something which is difficult, divided by 4. So this is 16 minus 12 plus 4 divided by 4 plus, this is going to be 20 minus 4 divided by 4. Then this is 32 minus 8 divided by 4 plus, this is 16 divided by 4. And 32 minus 8 is going to give us 24 divided by 4 plus, this is 4. And this is going to be 12. Is it 12? No, this is supposed to be 8 plus 4, which is equal to 12. So do you have 12 here? No, 12. 4 goes to 24 how many times? 8 times 4 is 32. No. Yeah, it's supposed to be, okay. Yeah, it should be 8. No, it's not supposed to be 8. Why am I so confused? Okay, 2 goes here, 12. Go here, 1, go here, 6. Why am I so confused sometimes? So as you have 10. Okay, there's no 10, so we are good to go. Let me check the other side if it is true. This time this is going to give us 20. 20 minus this is going to be this divided by 4 is going to be 4 for 16. So we are going to have 10, which we don't have 10 there. All right, let's look at this. Oh, this one, I can even see that this is equal to 1. because I just plug in 1, square root of 1 to the power 3 divided by square root of 1. Square root of 1 divided by 1, 1 divided by 1, and it's equal to 1. So some of them are just very simple to use your eye to do it. Should I leave this one for you to do? Yes, of course, I'm going to leave this one for you to do it. So don't forget, this one is positive. Okay, let me just do it straight so that we can just finish everything. This is positive. So I'm going to pick plus or minus x. So I'm going to pick the positive side, which is x divided by 2x. S cancel s, and then I have limit x is approaching 0 from the positive 1 over 2, and this is 1 over 2, which is this. Good. Now let's look at question 12. So I'm going to leave this one for you to do, right? Check the same thing and do question 12. Let's look at question 13. Now question 13 is asking us limit as x is approaching 2 from the right. So from the right means that x is greater than or equal to 2. All the values are greater than 2 or equal to 2. So it means that we need to use this function here. So we are going to have limit x is approaching 2 from the positive x to the power 3. And we are going to set x to be 2. So this is 2 to the power 3, which is equal to 8. No option from there. Let's look at this. So limit x is approaching 3 from the positive of f of x, meaning that x should be greater than or equal to 3 because it's positive. So we are going to have limit x is approaching 3 from the positive. We are going to use this function, which is x squared minus 15. Set x to be 3, and we are going to have this one to be 3 squared minus 15, which is 9 minus 15, and this should be minus 6, which is right here. Let's look at 15. We want to find constant c. So I think this was the same question that we did in question 1. So try this and also leave your answer in the comment section. Let's look at 16. Oh, 16 is a squeeze theorem. So we want to find limit as x is approaching 0 of u of x. So let's do this by, now we see that we have 1 minus x squared divided by 4 less than or equal to ux less than or equal to 1 plus x squared divided by 2. Looking at this, we can see that we have limit attached to this u of x. So for us to get limit attached to u of x, we need to multiply limit as s is approaching 0 through. So I'm going to have limit x is approaching 0 of 1 minus x squared over 4 less than or equal to limit x approaching 0 u of x less than or equal to limit x is approaching 0 1 plus x squared divided by 2. So let's see, using the squeeze theorem, plug in 0, and this will be 1 minus 0 over 4, which is going to give us 1 minus 0, which is 1. So limit x is approaching 0 u of x less than or equal to, plug in 0, you have 1 plus 0 divided by 2, this is equal to 1. So since the left is 1, right is 1, this should be 1. So we are going to have this one to be 1. So this one you can't even decide not to solve. Plug in 0 here, 0 here. To be left 1 1. So the answer is 1. Squeeze theorem. So this is how you can be solving objective very fast. Now I'll leave this one for you to do it. Yes. I think this one we've done it already and we had 1. Yes. I remember we did something like this and we had x. Okay, not this one. So it's supposed to be this one. So this one is minus 3 x minus 4. Okay, so this one is going to be minus 1 because the other one was x was approaching 4 and this one too was 4. So the top and this x minus 3, this will cancel this, plug in 3, and this one will be 3 minus 4, which is equal to minus 1. So you factor the top, which you are going to get this, and then you pick the limit and you're getting something like this. Let's look at this. Anytime you are having a squeeze theory questions like this, it's kind of very nice to be working with them. So what are we going to get for this? Let's use squeeze theory. First, we know that sine is bounded by minus 1 and 1. So now since we have sign here, we need to form this function here. We see that sin x is multiplied by this. So I'm going to multiply through by this one in the parentheses. So I'm going to have minus x squared plus 1 divided by x less than or equal to x squared plus 1 divided by x sin x less than or equal to x squared plus 1 divided by x. Now we can also see that after this one we have limit x as x is approaching 0. So I'm going to have limit x is approaching 0 of minus, this one can be written as x plus 1 over x less than or equal to, this is limit x is approaching 0. I will not touch this one because that's the question that we are working with. Then this is also equal to limit x is approaching 0, x plus 1 over x. So I was just dividing this one by x divided by 1 by 1. So what are we going to get from this using squeeze theorem? What are we going to get from this using squeeze theorem? So let's see what is going to happen right here. Going to see what is going to happen right here. So with this one, we see that when you plug in 0, something is going to happen. Something very big is going to happen. But okay, then let's even maintain this one. Let me maintain x squared divided by plus 1 divided by x, and also maintain the same thing here, x squared plus 1. So I'm going to, when you plug in 0, we are going to get 0 straight away. 0, 1, constant by this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use L'Hopital's rule. I'm going to differentiate. So I'm going to have x is approaching 0 of minus 1. Differentiate the top, you get 2x. Differentiate that down, you are going to get 1. Less than or equal to everything here. Less than this one, 2 is going to give us 2x divided by 1. Plug in 0 and everything is going to be 0. So this will be 0 less than or equal to everything here less than or equal to 0. So the answer is supposed to be 0. We don't have 0 here, so we can just leave it out. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. So this one's supposed to be here, and this one too is supposed to be here. The graph is so annoying. Now, based on the above graph, we can generally conclude that at s equal to a, the function is continuous if this is this. So above the function, but what is a? We don't know a here. Because this is continuous here. Based on above graph, we can generally conclude that this is continuous. No, let's pick false for this one. From the graph, the point of discontinuity is at x equal to 4 and 2. Is that true? So x is equal to minus 4. What is this one here? This is minus 2. Okay, this one's supposed to be minus 4. Sorry. So minus 2 is, yes, indeed. And 2 is also indeed. So yeah, this is jump. And this is also jump. And also 4. Yeah, so 4, 2 is the point. So minus 4, 2, and 4. So this one become true. Because this is jump discontinuity. This is also a jump discontinuity. And this is removable or point discontinuity. So 1, 2, 3. They are all points. Now determine the discontinuity displayed at s is equal to 2 of the function this. So at x is equal to 2, we have a jump discontinuity. So let's look at question 22. So question 22, we want to find the exact value for this. So limit as x is approaching 0, square root of 3 plus x minus square root of 3 divided by x. So we are going to multiply this one by square root of 3 plus x plus square root of 3 divided by square root of 3 plus x plus square root of 3, right? So this is going to give us limit x is approaching 0, and multiply this by this and this by this because the middle terms are going to cancel out. So 3 plus x, and then when I multiply this one, I get minus 3 divided by x square root of 3 plus x plus square root of 3 that. So now 3 cancel 3. So I'm going to have limit x approaching 0, x divided by square root of 3 plus x square root of 3. S cancel x, and I'm going to have limit x is approaching 0, 1 divided by square root of 3 plus x plus square root of 3. So now that we've cancelled the x, we can set x to be 0 and have square root of 3 plus 0 plus square root of 3. And this is going to give us 1 divided by square root of 3 plus square root of 3, which is the same as 2 square root of 3. So we are going to have A. Now let's look at this here. If, okay, let f of x equal to 1 divided by x squared minus 4, which of the following statements are false? So when you're approaching 2 from the positive side, we are going to get negative. Is that true? So let's pick any value which is on the positive side of 2, which is 3. So when I plug in 3 here, this is going to be 9. So this will be positive infinity, not negative infinity. So this is not true. When I'm approaching from the negative side of minus 2, plug in anything that is, so I can plug in minus 1. When I plug in minus 1, yeah. When I plug in 0, when I plug in 2, when I plug in, okay, I can plug in 2, but we are going to positive side of negative 2. Yeah, so it means that this one is going to give us negative 2, negative 1, 0 up to 1. All of them is going to give us, so this is true. Negative side of 2, I can plug in 1. 1 is going to give us negative, so this is also not true. So this is going to be, the one which is not true is I and I. Okay, D, which is here. Which of the following is true? If n is an integer and x is not equal to 0, then when I differentiate this, I'm going to get this. This is false. This should be n minus 1. This is true. This is also false. So I2 should be the one which is supposed to be true. So only one which is true here. So there's no option. There's no option here. Good. There's no option. Okay. Let's look at the next one. This question, I love it. X is approaching infinity. X plus 2 divided by 9x squared plus 1. Anytime you are taking a limit as x is approaching infinity, you pick the one that dominates. So the top, x will dominate 2. The down, 9x squared will dominate 1. So 9x squared. Divide, and I'm going to have limit x is approaching infinity. 1 divided by this. When I plug infinity here, 9 times infinity is infinity. 1 divided by infinity is going to be giving us a 0. So that's what we are going to get from there. There's no 0 there. So we conclude that there is no answer also there. Good. Let's look at 26. So 26, for us to get this limit, we need to check the left and then the right. So limit as s is approaching 0 from the left, we are going to pick the negative of this. So negative 8 divided by 8, this is limit x is approaching, or 8 is approaching 0 from the left, which is going to be minus 1, and this will be minus 1. Let's look at the positive side. 0 positive side, we are going to pick the positive of this, which is going to be 8 divided by 8. Limit 8 is approaching 0 from the positive 1, and this is will be going to be 1. So this does not exist. So we can pick something like undefined, which is minus infinity. C. What value of constant is the function continuous? So this one, since we have this, we need to use the left and then the right. So here we are going to use the idea that since the function is continuous from minus infinity to positive infinity, limit as x is approaching minus 2, this one's supposed to be, they should be the same thing, minus 2. Minus 2 from the negative of f of x should be the same as limit as x is approaching minus 2 from the positive of f of x. So that's basically what is going to help us to find for C. So let's do that. From the negative is this, and from the positive is also this. So I'm going to have C times minus 2 squared plus 2 times minus 2, which is equal to 2 times minus 2 plus 4. So I used this for this, which is also here. So this is 4C minus 4, which is equal to minus 4 plus 4, and 4C is equal to minus 4 is equal to 0. 4C is equal to 4, C is 1, which is here. Now let's look at this. I think, okay, that's not the last question. Let's look at this. Okay, so let's do that. Limit x is approaching infinity, square root of 9x squared plus 1 divided by x squared minus 3x plus 5. Don't forget x is approaching infinity. So I'm going to pick the one that dominates. So x is approaching infinity. I would dominate 9x squared. Sorry, 9 to the power 4. We're going to dominate 1. And the denominator is going to be squared. Now, I can write this one as 3x squared. Because when I take square root of 9, I get 3. Square root of x to the power 4, I get x squared. And then this cancels this. So I'm going to have limit as x approaching infinity of 3, which is going to give us 3. So this is going to give us this. Okay, so this is the last question. And then, should I leave you with the last question? Yes, so do the last question and leave your answer in the comment section. Don't forget, this one is supposed to be 3. This one is supposed to be 3, so that you can solve it. So solve question 9 and leave your answer in the comment section. So in the next video, we are going to talk about derivatives, right? So we are going to have questions on derivative. We solve, and then right after derivative, we talk about integration. And we go and write our exams with confidence. So see you in the next video.